Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. Before we jump into that, I'd just like to say thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out, it is free to join. Okay, so let's get into the count here. So we've just been moving around sideways here. We've had a bit of a breakdown this morning, and we did actually form a double top here. So it'll be interesting to see whether this actually continues to break to the downside. And basically, we were talking about the possibility our fifth wave could actually end into this position. So this is still possible. For the most part, we are looking to see whether we have some extension here. And what we were talking about yesterday was potentially looking for the possibility that we are looking for this one. So we're talking about two of these options. So we're talking about potentially just counting it like this, where it was looking for one more fifth wave to the upside. And for the most part, then we could argue that we have actually looked to complete here as a diagonal. I don't really like the structure though, so I'm not as keen on this idea as some of the others. But technically speaking, it is possible that we could have completed into here. The problem is then that we've actually made a higher high here. So we will have to see whether the bullish potential continues from here, and whether we actually manage to hold this 23,840. If we do manage to hold this, and this zone here of this, let's just throw this on here, this 24,536 to this 24,136 area. If we do manage to hold that zone, we can still look for some bullish potential to the upside. So we're going to discuss a few things within that. If, however, we do start to break down, we'll have to monitor this move to see whether it makes more sense that actually we did complete just back here and this becomes an A, a B, and a C, or alternatively, whether it makes more sense that we've actually completed into this and had a truncated fifth wave as a diagonal. So we're going to have to keep an eye within this structure and see what happens. So the other way that we were looking at it was looking at it having some more extensions in here. And potentially, basically what we were looking for was we were looking for this potential additional fourth and a fifth here. So if we were to argue that this case was playing out, then we could argue that actually we could look at this as a fourth wave into here with a fifth to the upside, and then basically an additional fourth here, and then that possibility of having another push to the upside. So this is looking for us to continue to the upside here without having to go down. Effectively, this would be invalidated by crossing this 23,840 zone. And what we'd be looking at, you'd have to count this move as having an extended wave 1 though. You'd have to count this potentially as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then looking at this as a flat correction where this is an A, B, and a C for wave 2. So this could be a completed move here, or alternatively, what we could do is form a additional leg to the upside here, and then break down one more time. But really, we don't want to lose this 24,122 zone if this is the case. The problem is, as well, if we start to move across two sideways here, it becomes less likely that we're actually that it's actually a wave 2. But we'll have to just monitor it and see how it plays out. So we actually came back into this 382, between this 382 and this 50%, which is a typical zone for a wave, for a flat. So, we can argue that we've actually come back and retested some of these highs here. So we could actually look for this progression to the upside. What we'd want to see here is good 5-wave structure to confirm this. And basically the confirmation or the target range for this wave 3 would be this 26,476. This would be provided there isn't any extension. If we do get some extension, we might see this push up higher here, and we could actually look to extend this wave 3. So we'll have to just see exactly how these waves play out. The thing is, like I said, as well, we have formed a double top here. We need to just be careful of that breakdown. That's why I'm looking at both of these options. This is the bullish potential here, where we could still see this push to the upside. And really, for as long as we hold this zone, we can still potentially look for that to play out. And then we could actually look to push up here higher towards this 27,000 to this 26,690. Obviously, we've got our bigger box area here, which we've been talking about for a while, which is this 27,636. And then the lower range is here, this 24,124. So, we're well within that. This zone is a 1382, which would be this 2533 to 399. So that's also a potential zone if we did look to push up a little bit higher here, that we could actually see some rejection. we are sort of flirting with this previous swing high over here. So it's going to be interesting to see whether this manages to hold, and then actually we just look to start to break down from here. But yeah, for as long as we hold this zone, we can still look at this bullish potential here. Losing this low would invalidate that, and then I'd be looking at the other potential of. So if we do lose that low, effectively what we'd be looking for then is the possibility of looking at this as a bigger corrective move, where this becomes an A, B, and then looking for that C wave to the downside. So that would be looking at this basically in this manner here, where we could still look at this corrective move here. So we've actually come up much higher here, and we've actually come up towards the origin of the move. So we need to be careful. B waves are tricky. B waves can technically pass this this A wave high, but ideally I wouldn't like to maintain the structure here if we're looking at this as an A wave. So this is potentially a 5-wave structure here. We can count it as 5, and then we could be looking for this to actually still break down in an additional 5-wave move. We wouldn't expect it to come as deep as this though for a B wave. So you know, it's really on that borderline as to whether this is a possibility here, or whether we're going to just find that support and carry on with that bullish option that we talked about, where we're actually looking for this as a wave 2. If we do move down, basically what we'd be looking for would be 1-to-1 would be this 23,375, which would actually form a double bottom here as well. So you know, if we do move down here, this would be a zone that we could actually potentially see a bounce and look for that push to the upside. However, we'd still need to be careful. I was looking at this initially as a 1 and a 2 potential, but the problem is this has gotten quite big, so we'll have to monitor it anyway. What we'd be looking out for in that case would actually be a deeper move here. If we do move down, because we didn't actually break this 25,250 zone, a move down towards this 22,231, this would be a zone that we actually need to keep an eye on. If we do move down into this area, we'd have to see whether we have some additional structure forming, where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. However, there wouldn't be a lot of space for this wave 4 to form between this 1618 and this and the beginning of this A wave. So you know, it would either have to be very flat, or this wave, if it is a wave 3 to the downside, would have to extend out quite a bit. So you know, we're gonna have to just give it a bit of space and see exactly how the waves form. This is still a potential for even if we do move up past this 25,250 zone, we'd still need to be on the lookout around this 1-to-1 of this 25,734. This could be a zone we could still also see rejection, where this B wave actually pushes up higher. The problem is, like I said, if we're looking at this as a 5-wave structure, you know, we can't really, it doesn't really fit into this narrative of taking the high again. And if we do, then it would be more likely that actually we're looking for some more upside here, and that this is not the way that we have it labeled, because ideally, if we wanted to look for this as a zigzag, we don't want to cross this 250 area. But the problem as well with that, looking at it as a zigzag, is, like I said, you know, we've come up quite high here. We've come up back to the origin. It can happen, so we're gonna have to see how the moves play out. But effectively, this is sort of a warning sign that could be indicating that this ABC potential to the downside is not valid. So we need to, well, it is still valid, but it's not probable. Let's put it that way. So that's basically what we're looking out for here. I would, for as long as we do maintain this zone here though, of this 23,226 to this 22,139, we can still look at that possibility of having a bigger move to the upside, where we look at something like this. Though breaking down below this 21,351 would invalidate this move, and then basically what we'd have to look at then is the possibility that actually we did complete into this high point here, and this whole move down is becoming a bigger move, looking to bring us back into this zone here of this 20,757 to this 17,104. So these are our key areas. If we do manage to hold these, then we could potentially look for this continuation up. And like I said, the other way that we were looking at it was looking at the potential of this in a slightly different way. We were looking at this as basically a 4th wave in here, and then we're looking for this as diagonal for the fifth, and then that potential to actually push up again, where this becomes a fifth, and then this is an additional 1, 2 here. If we do push up here, we'd also need to just be a little bit cautious that we don't have an extension from this point, where actually this becomes a 1, 2, and then actually we get an additional fourth and fifth wave. But we'll only really know once we start to push up if this does play out. So yeah, we will have to monitor the internals of this leg and see if we do fail to break down back below that 50% zone. That would be sort of a early indication, and cross this high. What we'd be looking for if that were to play out would be actually looking to complete this move up here, and then looking for that possibility of actually coming back and finding support in this 25,633 to this 25,281. So we need to just be careful of extensions here. These things can happen and do happen all the time, so we just need to give it a bit of space and see how these play out. So another thing that I just wanted to touch on briefly, where is it there? Potentially we can argue that this wave 2 actually completed here with a truncation, but I don't really, it's not my favorite count within the structure. It makes more sense to me that this is either a diagonal and then a zigzag, or potentially we can count it as a C wave to the downside here. So, you know, it is also possible that this wave 2 could actually complete into here, and we could be looking for a bigger move, though we don't have that confirmation yet. And if we do move down between this below this 23,840, that would actually invalidate this potential. If we were trying to look at this as a wave 2, we would have to then actually look to push up past this 31,274 for confirmation. And that would actually give us a much more impulsive structure here. And the problem with having a move this big to the upside is we'd have to then potentially look at changing this count a little bit, because it wouldn't make so much sense unless the fifth wave is extending, which is also a possibility. We could see an extension in this fifth wave here, which could then look to push us up higher into these zones. But yeah, we'll have to monitor it. For the time being, we need to see whether we manage to actually break this 25,250 area. If we fail to do so, we could still be looking for the sell-off down to this zone. If we fail to hold this zone, then the next support that I'd be looking at would be lower down here at this 20,757 at the higher end. So that would be a 382 retracement. Then this would be 50%, 618, 702, 786. So this would be a zone that we'd be looking for that potential. We also need to bear in mind that we are also looking for the potential that this could actually still be within a flat here, and look to break down. So we need to see how this plays out. If we for as long as we stay within this red box zone here, this option I'm still looking at, we can technically push up a little bit higher than this and potentially come up and retest this 28,000, 29,000 zone. But I wouldn't want to see it get too much higher than that. Otherwise, it sort of risks falling into the other category of just actually looking to extend out here from this zone. So that's what I'm currently looking at. And yeah, I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once you are in there, just mention member staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. In the description you'll also find affiliate links to both BYBIT and PrimeXBT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out for yourselves. Using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. But just remember, please, if you are going to be using leverage, make sure that you are using good risk management, and always sort of test these things out with small amounts before you go heavy on them. Okay, everyone, I'm going to leave you with that, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.